Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking about a bunch of Rippaverse detractors, talking a bunch of noise, including Buster Baxter, aka Dick Masterson, who seems to have some weird choice words about me considering his history. We'll get into all of that. Starting, of course, with the Art of Joe Bennett Alpha Core #1 pre-order, up for sale, 2000 metallic collectible variants. Get in where you fit in. Get in on Blade Devil 2, Chains of Blood. I know I have. I got all 4 covers and I can't wait to get it. But if you do want to get in on the beginning of this universe, you can go over to this campaign called Sick Fox Studios Unlimited over on Indiegogo. So if you want to get in and on this universe, like I said, you can. We also have Black Rhapsody, which is another campaign I'm currently waiting for. It's currently in fulfillment, and I think it's going to be great. The colors of it look amazing, and the style of it is the type of style that I like when it comes to reading comics for the most part. But I do want to say, hell yeah, we hit 1.8k subs, onward to 1.9k. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed and watched the videos, even my haters. 1800, 1.4k on my last video talking about CG going down in flames and Hypnotic BTFOing frog face. You can go check that out. But I want to start here, where Katie decides to do her due diligence and super chat $5 to Eric to hate on it. Now,
Absolutely.
I'm going to explain to you what this says. Why are you deflecting my question about Yaira? Is there something you're trying to hide? I mean, I do appreciate you reading my super chat. You're getting better at handling yourself, but you still failed, just like your business. Well, here's the thing. It seems like your life is in failure because you're constantly hating on a black man. You're constantly hating on Eric July. I know people like to say, well, why do you bring the black thing up? It's interesting considering that just recently a certain creator decided to bring race into it and say that the only reason people like Eric July is because he is, of course, black. Now, that's something he can't change, which this type of person right here believes that Yaira is late, even though we're still in winter. We haven't even hit March yet. But it's very interesting that she had this to say. To which I say, what's interesting about this is, first of all, anyone giving money to someone you hate is retarded. Secondly, you're still a member of the channel, so you're giving money monthly as well, on top of that. Third of all, it's still winter. When are you going to open your eyes and realize you're nothing but a clip channel in decline? You got called out by Vickyverse for being a fake geek girl. That was hilarious. Lastly, his business is failing is a silly statement to make when he made more profit in 2023 versus 2022. If his business was failing, how is he still hiring more people and funding more books? Which is something these people can't make any sense of. I can't make any sense of it, apparently, because it don't make no sense. It really don't make no sense. But this is the video right here. His first major announcement called Ripasend, a new service. Our new service wing under the Rippaverse Publishing brand focuses on direct-to-customer fulfillment, publishing, and consulting for creator-owned independent comics. Let's take a listen to the video here.
I'm Eric July, the founder and owner of the Rippaverse. When we launched our comic book company in 2022, I took the risk of my life. But it wasn't an uneducated risk. We've had 3 campaigns over $1 million, and that's due to us doing tons of research.
That's very true. And got a lot of people hyped for the universe that he's creating, and he still has people hyped for the universe he's creating. That's why a lot of people are hyped indeed for Yaira #1.
That research had to do with analyzing the industry standards from content to distribution. And quite frankly, we couldn't make sense of a lot of it. So we did things differently. We handled everything ourselves as a new company, from the website functionality to the fulfillment.
Now, the hamster's supposed to be a joke where he always talks about how the Rippaverse hamsters are going strong, keeping the website going. That's supposed to be a little Easter egg for all the people who know the lore of that.
All of it was in-house, and we've learned a lot along the way. We know what works, and we know what doesn't, and we are not afraid.
It's interesting how in a certain creator's live stream, people want to talk about that his workers are dwarves or midgets, and that they're short enough so that they can work faster with their shorter arms close to the table. That's very concerning.
Rate of change and improvement. If you've kept up with my videos, you know that many people ask me if we'll ever publish non-Rippaverse things.
Evie Variety with a Foster asked this question several months. I was wondering if the answer changed. Are you interested in bringing on outside series to the Rippaverse?
I've always said that I believe our contribution would be more so in helping fulfill, because it's the most pressing issue. And now that we have everything down,
yes, it seems to be a very pressing issue considering some creators are talking a bunch of crap about how Here, it's not an issue yet. If it's not an issue, why are none of your books out? Why are none of your recent books out? Why are people waiting 4 or 6 years for one book called Rainbow the Brew? And why are people still asking for refunds and waiting for a book called Snowman?
Now, I'm proud to announce our next venture called Ripasend, a full-scale hosting and fulfillment service under the Rippaverse publishing brand. A glaring hole in the independent comics market is with fulfillment and delivery of product. New forms of funding, such as crowdfunding, have lowered the barrier for entry, and that's great. The downside is that you have a lot of people.
But wait, I thought Ripper was against crowdfunding. I was told by a bunch of weirdos on the internet that Ripper was against crowdfunding, even though his style of quote-unquote crowdfunding has been a pre-order campaign, not you pay him money to get a product done. He put in his own money in order to get the product out to people. People just pre-order the product, similar to when you go to a GameStop and you give $5 to pre-order a game.
That don't necessarily understand the business, overpromising and realizing very quickly that they're in over their heads, and that's where Ripasend comes in. There are publishers and distributors, but what we're trying to do is far different. We understand the comic book industry and can handle any volume. Our goal is to assist the independent scene and those creatives that want to remain largely independent and sell directly to their customers. Ripasend is not a crowdfunding platform that's open to the public. Look at it more like a network that certain clients will have access.
It's also interesting in that certain creators chat that, oh, it's certain clients and he's creating a cult. No, he's taking people into this service who are taking their projects serious and not having people wait years and years and years for late stuff when they've already had their money taken. Interesting how that certain creator didn't see that as a shot taken at him, of course.
Access to. You'd fill out our application online. We'd make sure that this is something that makes sense for you. And then we'd give you a unique quote with pricing that's tailored to you and your needs. Each client will be different, which is why we'll work with select people or companies.
Which I don't understand why people are crying about him doing this. There are other quote-unquote 3PLs, right, that are doing the exact same thing as him, but when Ripper does something that is against everything that they disagree with, it's bad. Remember, it's bad. It's bad when Eric does it. It's only bad when Eric does it.
Companies. There are two different primary types of clients that Ripasend is going to be perfect for. Number one, you're a great creative. Perhaps you've built a decent following, but the business and fulfillment side is difficult to understand, or it bores you and you don't want to deal with it. You just want to create. Ripasend can take care of that entire project. We'll give you your own unique URL on.
See, that type of thing would get rid of the stress from the creators or the creatives, whichever word you want to use, similar thing. And it allows them to just create, and not have to worry about if their books are going to get out to people or going out of their way to learn that business side or find a way to get their stuff shipped out and do all the, again, the business side stuff and all of that.
On our site, and you can even have the campaign format where your customers can purchase. We'll keep you up to date with detailed reports.
Yeah, the exact same model that he's using, he's giving out to other people that have the indie projects. So terrible. I know.
And all, and the clients that want us to take care of everything will get access to our internal team, which can assist you with other things such as pricing your items and ensuring that you get the largest return. You're also going to be able to utilize our vendors and suppliers. So if you need help getting a book printed or you want to get a shirt, we can take care of that for you. You're going to be able to take advantage of some Rippaverse pricing, which is going to be far cheaper than if you did it yourself.
And it's very interesting how these people have been inconsistent when a few months ago they were just crying and complaining about Eric not helping the little guy or helping the indie creators, yet he's giving them options that he and his company can deal with because they already have the experience in dealing with all this stuff for their own comics. Now he's giving out that opportunity to deal with that with other people's indie projects while not fully putting his publishing name on it and keeping them separate and keeping those creators independent.
especially with shipping. And of course, once your items are ready, we'll receive them at one of our warehouse locations, store, pre-package, and then ship.
I also saw some people crying about how he has more warehouses, bro. He's had 2 warehouses for the longest time. If you're just figuring that out because you're not a real fan of Eric July and you don't really know the Eric July lore, please shut the fuck up.
To our customers, and that means we'll be handling the customer service aspect of it for you too. The other main type of client would be someone that just wants to use Ripasend to host their store and fulfill their items. We can do that too. Of course, there will be those hybrid clients as everybody needs something different, and that's the point. Our main requirement is that we'll only pick up projects where the company or individual creative has their stuff together. They need
So basically, people who aren't slacking on their project and don't seem serious about what they're doing.
to be well beyond the proof of concept phase. Being a part of the Ripasend network is going to benefit a lot of clients, all of the clients actually, because at minimum, the purchaser's going to understand that they are going to get the products that they paid for, and it will be within a reasonable time frame.
Again, I bet Ethan or Frogman over there doesn't see this as him taking more shots at him without really naming him at all. He's probably too stupid to figure this one out.
This is why Ripasend won't be for everybody. We want the independent and alternative scenes to thrive, so we're not here to hold our clients hostage. This is why, even though in the literal sense we'd be publishing other people's work, I don't think calling Ripasend a publisher is entirely accurate. We want to teach you the ropes and help you grow, and maybe at some point in the future you'll no longer even need Ripasend. That's okay. Let your wings fly. But we're here to help, and we want to grow a reliable network of creatives and projects where customers don't feel like they're playing the lottery if they support a campaign. Let us take the more complicated things off of your hands so you have the time to go be great. So if you're an independent creative and Ripasend is something that interests you, head over to ripasend.com for more detailed information. We already have a handful of clients and we're looking to add more to the list. See you soon, and let us help you be great.
Oh, what a terrible thing Eric is doing. Taking the business side of everything and taking the stress off the creator. So terrible that he's doing that, which I said the meltdown has already begun as of the posting of this video. The usual suspects saying the absolute dumbest and out of touch things. He is hemorrhaging money. How is he doing that whole offering a new service and producing new products? Make it make sense. Yes, how is he hemorrhaging money yet he's creating a new service, which, by the way, probably spent a good amount of money on that. But yeah, how is he hemorrhaging money if he's able to fund a new part of his business and expanding on his business, and he's putting out new projects? He has to pay Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett for something like The Horseman to be a thing. So again, how is he hemorrhaging money? We'll get into all that. Of course, we had Brooke Black Angus, because he probably broke, busted, talking about, how he was not going to do the publishing thing, right? He literally says not publishing other people's books in the Rip% video. Why are you so stupid? Cam, of course, showing off this, that Cam, student of God, Hail the Lord, and whoever this person is, are the real 4 horsemen of the Rippocalypse. This 80 IQ dope thinks that I'm some sort of huge Rippaverse cheerleader because I think fulfillment services are a good idea. Eric's haters are very strange. Yes, they are very strange indeed, considering calling out nonsense that other creators are doing is somehow terrible. Comfortably Numb says, I love how the new conspiracy is that this service is why Yellow Flash rejected EVS. It couldn't be because he's been a massive dick for months. No. He wanted to use the fulfillment service for a book that isn't even done yet. Yeah. Ripasend, I'm always right. No, you weren't. Shut up. You were never right. You were never right. Yeah, Yellow Flash saying he's going to look into it for sure. Bloody hell, don't use it. It won't be for everyone or anyone. Who knows? But I said it before. I bet Eric will start doing printing in-house in the near future. Lots of frog cope, EVS in his heart grapes. Yeah, because he thinks he's the king dick of everything when he's not. He named the service Rippa's End, Cope and Seethe. Do you understand what cope means? Do you even understand what I say to you? I don't care. You're coping. Just shut up. Yep, Eric July built a pay service and website bypassing PayPal and Indiegogo. Has 1 million plus campaigns. Now he's looking at consulting and fulfillment, and his biggest IP, in my honest opinion, is about to launch for Yaira. Bet against him if you want. I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm hyped for Yaira. Yes, I know what cope means, but I know who you follow. I've seen your follow list. I don't give a fuck. You can go fuck off. We had this guy respond saying, "Why are you retarded?" Our first Rippercent creators, of course, Jay Drunk 3PO, who was a part of Critical Blast before, which I showed this idiot. I said, brought to you by Rippercent, which is what it says right there. I said, this is similar to when he published with his first book with Critical Blast, from Critical Blast. By the way, since I have the book, do you see any of Critical Blast on the cover or the back? Do you see anything on this cover? Nope. Do you see anything on the back here that says Critical Blast? Nope. Don't see any of that anywhere, but when you look up that certain creators' books, he has his logo slapped all over Snowman and Starblades. So he's fully responsible for publishing and putting those books out, even though, okay, Starblades got out, but where's the other one? Nowhere to be found. Now, I'm not blaming, of course, the person that worked on it, like the writer or the artist, or writer, Martin, like people keep saying. I've simply blamed the person who's responsible for publishing and printing and shipping out that book that still hasn't got out to nobody, that he still owes a lot of people refunds for. So we also had Teasel Spencer, who's had this to say. My thing is, Chuck probably wanted to do a book he owned outright, but got hit with the "it is what it is" from Eric, which I don't understand this. A lot of people say it is what it is. It's not a new slang thing that Eric just came up with out of the blue. People have been saying it for decades. That's why people are comparing Horseman to something he would have done on Batman. No, they're probably comparing it that way because, Chuck Dixon was a Batman writer. Ripper can't just admit he doesn't know what he's doing and all of this got bigger and out of hands too fast. He clearly knows what he's doing considering he's made more profit in 2023 versus 2022 and is being able to constantly expand and create get new characters funded. You just literally told on yourself. You say he doesn't know what he's doing, yet he took a character that Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett together created and said, yes, I'm going to greenlight that. What are you talking about? You keep saying these stupid, dumb things, but you swear up and down that your IQ is not, you swear up and down that your IQ is higher than room temperature. Your IQ is that of a gnat, non-existent. You don't have an IQ that's existent because you're not as smart as you think you are. We also had Joel Ball put this out. It says, this is very exciting, very useful for guys like myself that want to be able to just focus on my books and not 100 other things at the same time. Which this guy tried to just flat out say this to Joel Ball, a guy who's been doing comics for 21 years. I would not recommend it. This is con artistry at its finest. Where? Where's the con artistry, bud? Where is it? 99% of independent comic creators won't ever need a service like this. Says you. You don't run a business. You're not a comic book creator. So you have zero insight into that whatsoever. Just shut up. It's also antithetical to the idea of crowdfunding your own book. The back end, such as shipping and fulfillment, is the one area where the creator can truly save and not stress about, which is what this service does. Saves money, saves the creator money, and they don't have to stress about it because someone else is taking care of it that has experience in doing it already. Also, how does this help speed up the process of fulfillment anyway? The book would have to be done beforehand. No. He specifically said the person has to be beyond the concept art portion of the book. Do you not listen, or are you just being willingly obtuse? You're purposely sounding like a fucking retard. And that doesn't help the artist to draw any faster to meet deadlines. Actually, because the artist doesn't have to worry about the business end or the shipping or the distribution of the book or the printing of the book for that matter. They have more time to spend on drawing the book so that they could meet deadlines, so they could get the book out faster. You wouldn't recommend it. How long have you been working in comics? For 0 years. Just so I can weigh your recommendation against his. Where Joel Ball says, oh, for sure, I've been working in comics for 21 years. I've seen people try and fail. Rippa has a solid system for all the stuff nobody wants to deal with, so it's more than looking into and applying to if the creator meets the criteria. More than worth. He also says, it's alright. Nothing wrong with hearing different perspectives on business ideas. Different options work for different people. I think he means, well, no. Tezo Spencer has been a constant hater on literally everything Eric July does since the beginning. He is one of those crack smokers, right?
They're doing crack!
He is one of those crack smokers who, because he thinks he knows everything, but he's not intelligent enough. He thinks because he paid for product, he didn't like product, so Rippa's business should burn. He's one of those idiots. He's literally one of those idiots. That's his detractor story, we'll say. He does not. I try not to assume the worst of people. I'm sorry. This person, Joe Tizzle Spencer, he has no intention of giving you any good faith arguments. Zero. LG shout out. While I respect the sentiment, this dude has been known to go around needlessly nipping at Eric's heels. It's only a quote bad idea for him because he doesn't like Eric. Let it be someone else, he likely wouldn't be as critical of it. I'd be critical of it regardless, but the problem is Eric also has legitimate criticism against this operation venture that, of course, Riptars will defend as the second coming of Jesus. No, he has a criticism against the overpriced nonsense that you find out there. That's what he has a criticism of. But of course, you don't know that because you're not well versed in Eric lore. You don't actually give a crap. Highly doubt you would. You haven't been quote critical of any other person as much as you try to do Eric. But continue with ankle biting. Interesting. Interesting that you say that. Because, I mean, what are you going to say after Jay Drunk 3PO's book, Acromatic Chronicles Green, gets out using Ripasend? What are you going to say then? What is the goalpost shift going to be then when this book gets out? Possibly Yellow Flash, right? Who says this is great and he's going to look into it for sure. What are you going to say when Yellow Flash's book comes out from Ripasend and it's successful? What's the goalpost shift going to be then? I'm sure you'll find something, but wait. Interesting, if I look at your timeline, so 8 hours before you were talking a bunch of shit about Ripasend, you reposted Critical Blast, which does the exact same thing that Ripasend does. Oh, do I smell hypocrisy? Yes, I do. Yes. I absolutely smell hypocrisy coming out of your mouth. Creators looking for fulfillment on your campaigns, we've got you. 9 hours ago that you reposted. So the company that Drunk 3PO's first book came out of, Critical Blast, does the exact same thing Ripasend does, but because it's Eric July doing it, it's bad to you. So congratulations for showing your hypocrisy. You're so stupid. But yes, let's listen to that certain creator weaponize Eric July's skin color to attack him. Let's listen to this clip.
Almost entirely white kids that are like, I have a black friend on the internet. You realize that, don't you? You realize that, like, race really does have a lot to do with why people like you, because people are like, well, look.
Yeah, that doesn't sound racist at all.
Look, this is great. Like, there's a guy on the internet who's a black guy who shares my politics and probably doesn't hate me because of the color of my skin. And it turns out that you do. Turns out that Eric does. He looks at you and he sees the color of your skin and he just goes, this is some gay shit. You think I'm going to beg white people for anything? That's not who I am. That's some gay shit.
That's not what Eric said. You're retarded, as usual. You say retarded shit, and you think you're smarter than everyone else in the room. But if you were smarter than everyone else in the room, your books wouldn't be late. You wouldn't be declining, an actual huge decline from your second book to your third book, where you're trying to constantly push Rainbow the Brute that you still haven't finished, Cyberfrog 3, which you still haven't finished, and Snowman that's not out yet. That's late over 2 years. But What Eric says when it comes to that specifically, because I know you're fucking retarded. I know you're retarded, Ethan, because I'll address you. I know you're retarded, Ethan. But what Eric says is he's not one of those black guys that looks for the approval of white dudes. Like the black guys out there that cry victim all the time. So stop lying to your audience about the bullshit you think you know. You retard. And stop acting like people only like Eric because he's black. No, people like Eric because they like what he's doing in the indie space. Building a universe that people are invested in and enthusiastic about. Unlike Cybercuck, no one's invested in that shit. Because when you ask people about that book, no one's read it. The only thing they can tell you is how great the art is. Yet you can sit up here and talk about everybody else's quote-unquote terrible books, yet no one knows anything about Cybercuck outside of the art being great. Which, by the way, Joe Ball is a better artist than you, and I hope you watch this video and hear me say that for like the 5th time. Joe Ball is a better artist than you. Cope and Seethe. And his book is longer than yours and costs less money. I don't mean to bring Joe Ball in it, but you're just annoying. You're just an annoying dude. I'm sorry. You're just super annoying. And of course, we have this terrible meme. It says, "Quick, children, these orders won't fulfill themselves." So you're talking about child labor? Child slave labor in this picture? Is that what you're saying? Interesting. Again, memes are supposed to be funny. Yours is not. Okay, may God have mercy on anyone who does business with them for any of this. Good. No one cares what you have to say, Chris Bacon. Your downfall into being a Rippaverse detractor is also stupid. You were a big supporter, fake as hell. So, no one should listen to you anyway. I'm sure Jay Drunk 3PO's book will be out just fine. I'm sure Flash or Joe Ball go with the service. I'm sure the books will come out just fine. I'm sure they'll come out just fine. But we also have Buster Baxter, aka Dick Masterson, who has to put his 2 cents into it. Meanwhile, his business is failing as well. It's always these irrelevant lolcow YouTubers, which now EVS at this point is becoming a lolcow himself, as much as they like to say, I am a lolcow, yet they have to constantly make up a lie and do a bunch of gay shit all the time, which none of that affects me. I'm still going to continue to make videos and make fun of you weirdos. Eric July went on his big stupid rant against 3PLs when I suggested he use one instead of wasting money on warehouses and forklifts and employees. No. He went on a rant of not having to use 3PLs that overcharge you for bullshit. Rather, he just get all the money up front and keep all the money with shipping and do all the work himself rather than relying on someone else to get a product out. But of course, you wouldn't know shit about that because you don't really run a business. You sit up on a podcast and just talk crap about everybody. That's your content. Your content is literally talking on a podcast and talking shit about other people. Similar to what EVS is doing. Y'all all deserve each other. Bunch of weirdos. But she also had this to say. Maybe as a joke. Eric has 0 chance of succeeding against established 3PLs. Says the guy whose business is reliant on talking shit about other people. And he even has less advice to offer in terms of creative and marketing. What will people pay a percentage for their sales for? Access to Sturgis? Which, by the way, I'm better looking than you in every way, shape, or form. Again, I'm going to say this to you so that my audience, once again, knows exactly who you are and what type of person you are. You are a person who is 45 years old. Talking shit about other people is your business, which isn't sustainable. It gets old. Your content's boring. I've seen it. It's boring. One of your last few jokes that I've seen was you saying that Melanie Mack wants to put Eric's BBC in her mouth. That was your last joke that I watched, and I'm like, that's what you're still doing? Penis jokes in 2023? To which I say, #who is Sturgis? This is very interesting coming from the guy who wants to be called Juju the cow while wearing a cow suit, and you want to get fucked in the ass while wearing said cow suit. You are definitely closeted. You're closeted, which is fine. You're allowed to be closeted. You can come out at any time. It's 2024. You can be gay and nobody will care. So you have nothing to say, really. This is what you are about. You're about talking shit about other people who are more successful than you. You're about this weird shit behind the scenes, just like Vaush is into weird shit. Y'all are probably into that same weird shit. And you want to sit up here and not even address me properly, right? You cry about being called the N-word by Eric July when you were acting exactly like what he called you. Whatever Eric July called you, because I know exactly what he called you, you were acting like that. Kept saying he was committing fraud. Kept saying he was scamming people. Kept saying his stuff was a grift. Meanwhile, he's more successful within the 2 years that the Rippaverse has been out than you've probably been doing podcasts. Your claim to fame was being on Dr. Phil. That was your claim to fame. So you're literally a nobody at this point. You're literally in lolcow status while trying to get out of lolcow status. So don't try to sit up here and act like you're superior to anybody, because you ain't shit. You live in California, the most crackhead, drugged out state next to Washington. So, the fuck out of here. At the end of the day, no matter what Eric does, no matter what positive thing he may do for the indie space, he's always going to be under a microscope. I've literally been under a microscope. These people are all disgusting. They have nothing better going on with their lives. They've got nothing to lose, so they're just essentially sitting up here talking all this noise about other people that are much better looking than them, much more superior to them as far as creating content, and that are more successful than them in their lives. But I'm going to leave it all at that. I think I've ranted on long enough. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button, comment below what you feel about all of this. Subscribe for more content, hit the bell for notifications, set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or live stream. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.